Hello to the 2023 participants of the Youth Nuclear Peace Summit. My name is Rooj Ali, and I'm a youth coordinator with Reverse the Trend, with which we are very excited to be able to engage with all of you on today's summit. I will briefly share my screen to discuss with you some of the really cool and exciting things that Reverse the Trend participates in, and some things that you as well can get engaged with. Reverse the Trend officially launched in January of 2021, right in line with the official going into force of the TPNW, with which I'm sure you are learning a lot about at the summit. And Reverse the Trend has numerous chapters, some of which include Reverse the Trend Pacific, Japan, Canada, Francophone, and South and Southeast Asia. I am particularly working with Reverse the Trend's Canada chapter, and I'll get to talk to you a little bit about what each of our chapters are doing and some of the things that we've all collaborated on together. Reverse the Trend is an organization that really looks at engaging with youth in a very interpersonal level and also engaging primarily with frontline communities that experience nuclear weapons use and testing, as well as mining. So we frequently engage with these youth, and many of which work within Reverse the Trend as well. And things like education and engagement take a lead in our activities and initiatives. In looking into our website and our organization, you'll find that we have a toolkit, which is there to aid you in your own research and advancement of advocacy work around nuclear disarmament. This toolkit has various links and resources that allow you to understand what exactly nuclear weapons are and give you quick information that you can use to your own disposal to understand nuclear weapons. And we found that a lot of people engage with this toolkit to talk about them and share with those around them. We also have a curriculum, and this curriculum was launched alongside Reverse the Trend. So in our official launching, we put this curriculum out there. And this curriculum is meant to be a functional tool as well for schools to use in talking about nuclear weapons in a way that is most digestible for young people. As we understand that to engage with young people, we have to explore other means of engagement and collaboration that best connect with them. And oftentimes this looks at art, and this looks at different artistic forms that we really take pride in, and we really try to make center to our own advocacy. And you'll get to hear a little bit more about that as I continue talking to you about some of the things that are currently going on. Another way to get engaged with Reverse the Trend and stay connected with us is through our forum. These are all things that you can find on our website as well. And yeah, there's a lot of ways to connect with one another and ways that we can aid you in your own work as an advocate. Over the last few years, Reverse the Trend youth have been able to engage with some really high-profile conferences that have happened around the world. One of which was Reverse the Trend having the opportunity to go to Vienna, Austria, to attend the first meeting of state parties for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. My colleague will get to speak about her experience in Vienna as well, but just briefly talking about it, Reverse the Trend was able to bring our youth there and be able to engage in the United Nations, engage with diplomats, be able to provide coverage on what's happening, and allow that access for others who were not able to attend, other young people in particular, to know and see that those like themselves are present in these conversations and in these rooms. There was a huge boost of youth leadership at this conference. And after the conference, we saw a lot of engagement with Reverse the Trend, larger in general, youth asking questions about what exactly are nuclear weapons, what is the TPNW. So having the opportunity to go to Vienna myself, along with the team, it's really powerful and moving, as it allowed us to witness young people be present in a way that hasn't happened before in these high-profile events. Our team also had the opportunity to attend the G7 Youth Summit, which was co-organized by the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons and Hiroshima University, the Center for Peace. So we were able to attend to Japan and Hiroshima in particular and be a part of this G7 Youth Summit that predated the G7 Summit itself that happened only a couple of weeks later. The purpose of this Youth Summit was to really push and make nuclear disarmament a priority at the G7 Summit that was happening in Hiroshima later on. We really wanted to emphasize the importance of making nuclear weapons a priority, as the fact that the summit was happening in Hiroshima itself was enough of a call to make that important and make them speak about it. And what we created out of this summit was a youth statement. So a lot of our youth actually, either engaged in presenting the youth statement and or were part of making it. We all engaged with it. We all engaged in discussions around what should go into it. And in the end, we were able to make connections with other young activists and leaders from around the world that we otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet if it wasn't for the summit. And you'll really come to understand that there is a community of young people out there that are very happy, that are very passionate and advocate very actively about this work, because it is work that transcends generations. Furthermore, on the topic of Reverse the Trend, youth having the opportunity to be present at higher profile events would be a lot of our youth getting to participate in the Non-Proliferation Treaty Review Conference. Having the opportunity to participate in these events furthers the proof that young people are aware and understanding and can grasp the concepts that high-level officials are debating and discussing. That really just furthers the importance of having you present in these rooms, and why Reverse the Trend really works to make that possible as often as we can by attending these conferences and by making it possible that our youth are able to engage with one another in person. Which really allows me to kind of get into what some of the things that are happening right now include. Some of which include the Reverse the Trend mentorship program, which has only launched just this year, that focuses on looking at nuclear weapons and their various intersections, like nuclear weapons and gender, nuclear weapons and climate, nuclear weapons and law. Going back to some of our roots on art and utilizing art, this mentorship program looks at allowing our youth to choose an intersection that is inspiring and that they're passionate about, and choosing an art medium that they want to express it in putting together an art piece as a final product that will later be present at the second meeting of state parties to the TPNW that will be held in New York at the end of November, which is another really exciting thing that a lot of Reverse the Trend youth are going to have the opportunity to participate in person, is we're going to be able to attend the second meeting of state parties to the TPNW in New York this year. So many of us will have the opportunity to go and engage and be present at the United Nations, and likewise it intersects with this mentorship program that we're really utilizing. And this is all information you can find easily accessible on our website that highlights everything that's happening right now and some of the ways you can get involved and what some of the work that we do is and why it's so important. And finally, I think our most present event that I encourage all of you to look into as well, that's currently happening and currently seeking applications, is the Youth Parliamentarian Nuclear Summit that is to be held in Ottawa, November 20th and 21st. This summit is going to look at us engaging with members of parliament, parliamentarians, and other ambassadors to the UN, diplomats, and high-level officials, and those that have frontline experience with nuclear weapons. I encourage all of you to register and apply. This is a great opportunity to participate in Parliament in a very high level and actually speak to parliamentarians in a way where we're able to see how youth and government can intersect with one another and push Canada to be a signatory to the TPNW, as Canada currently is not. So the purpose of the summit is to make Canada a signatory and make it a high priority, as only a week following this summit, the second meeting of state parties to the TPNW will happen. So the summit is something that Reverse the Trend Canada has taken the lead in organizing alongside the office of Senator Marilou McPhedran, and my colleague, who is also present at your summit today, is going to be speaking a little bit about as well. So I really encourage all of you to look into it and take a look into Reverse the Trend and some of the work that we do, as there's always space and room for more young people to get engaged, and also a reminder that to show you that there is a lot that you can do, and there is a lot of spaces that foster and encourage youth engagement. And there is a really large community out there. Reverse the Trend is really happy to be a part of that greater discussion, and really happy to push youth voices and youth activism to the forefront of this work, as youth are the future and they are the upcoming generation that is going to be in these positions of power. So there's really a great importance of producing a generation of youth that are well informed, well educated, and well connected with one another, and understanding why these issues are personal and why they affect all of us, one and the same. Thank you so much for having me. I am very happy to have had this opportunity to speak to all of you, and I hope to get to engage with all of you in a more personal matter soon.